So just to clarify really quick, and so because again, to break it down a little more simplistic, in the machine that I witnessed, the flow bench, the test in that machine, your pressure was the same, correct, throughout the entire test.
20.4 inches of water. Yes.
Okay. What we know about the other machine that was used to get the other numbers, there comes a point where the pressure actually has to be adjusted to compensate for the machine, and then the result has to be calculated, so it's almost an assumed number based on a calculation, but isn't an actual test because their machine cannot go to the range that your machine can, and your machine was consistent throughout the entire testing of all the throttle bodies. So there was no calculations. It was exactly what we reported without having to put pen to paper or whatever and figure out what it would have been under the correct pressure that all the other tests were done.
Exactly.
Okay.
And when you do that, it's not a thing to do that, but if you do it, you disclose it. This is not a measurement. This is a calculation.
Right.
And it would have been worthless anyway because of the throttle positions being incorrect. Basically, we don't know, they don't know where they are between 0 and 100. They don't know where they are.
Right. Which it's a little scary when you think about it as a consumer, because you're taking this information from, these companies or a company, and you're assuming that it's what they're telling you. And it really puts people who aren't as experienced as you in a tough position when we're out there trying to buy. I mean, the stuff isn't like, $100. I mean, it's all of it is you're investing, hard-earned money into it in hopes of getting a performance number that the claims of what they do stand behind it. And then when you dig deeper, like we have been, you realize maybe it's not what we actually believe it is. And it's just kind of disheartening in a way. And that's why I was so glad I got to come to Solar and witness this, because I'm telling everybody that I stood there and watched this, and it wasn't, I don't know, again, 3.5 hours, 4 hours of watching this, and there was nothing, no manipulation, no nothing. It was put one on, take one off, put one on, take one off. Here's the numbers. I don't know how anyone can dispute that. And then we run into this other thing. Then we start talking about the machines. You can't even get to it without doing calculations. It's tough. It puts the consumers in a tough spot, because we're sitting here going, what should we do?
Well, I can tell you the difference that we find, and I think Brandon's Garage ran a Dyno.
Yes.
On this, and he got the same, I believe. Is that right?
I think from what I remember, and I could be wrong, but from what I remember him saying, it was a lot closer. The Dyno test really didn't show this big of a variance. It was a lot closer.
That's exactly where I'm going. If you are a consumer and you already bought, let me start. I am not enjoying doing this. The only reason I'm saying this is because that perception that one is better than the other, and it's not. And but in reality, what counts is that. And I can go ahead and tell you, did they calibrate the dyno? Probably not. Did they, they run into the same problems that we run into but I'm going to go ahead and believe that they are the same. And I truly believe it, that a wide open throttle, because the dyno is only testing wide open throttle.
Right.
The difference I see here is not enough. Because then again, I haven't compensated here. So I have like 40 or 60 feet CFM here. Remember when we said, okay, we have an error in the calibration,
Right.
We know the machine is shifting this like 10, and then we have an error in the position, because when we say 10%, the best we can do is 9.5, 9.5 to 10.5. So when we're doing 10%, we can be wrong there too in position. And that's a little different airflow. So everything together, give or take 20, we can say the Tony Mamo could have, given the whole benefit of the doubt, could have 20 more CFM than what it says there. And that we could have 20 less CFM than what it says there. It
Right.
still don't catch up. Now, the difference when it comes to wide open throttle, I believe you could get the same results in the dyno. So, short answer, if you have Tony Mamo, you don't have to return it. You got a good product, but please don't say that it's better, and don't say, especially the way they're running things, it's not. It's not any better. In the best case, almost tight at wide open throttle. I mean, it's not. We're better. I'm sorry. We have to say ours
Yeah.
is better,
A lot
but
better.
but it's not. It's not something as to, okay, now I'm gonna dump this one and buy the solar. No, it's not that. It's a good product. I have to say it's a good product. It's just as good. Basically, I'll tell you. Let me share my screen again. It's just as good as the KDEC that got thrown away. That got So basically, what Tony Mamo did is they reverse engineered. It's the same design as KDEC. What Tony Mamo has now is the same design as KDEC. It's a good throttle body. They
Yeah.
just did the same. If you compare them side by side, you see they shaved it. They were more careful here with the thread, and they hit the head of the screws. Other than that, it's basically the same design. It's good. You don't have to. We think ours better. Is it enough as to, oh, I'm gonna throw it away and buy it? No, the difference is not that much. But anyway, just wanted to say to them to be careful with the data, and them, by them mean Mamo Sports. Go check out what you're doing, calibrate your machine, get it in range, make sure it's accurate, repeatable, then run the test again, and you will see that we are a lot closer, and that ours is slightly better.
Yeah.
I have no doubt.
Well, slightly better might be being a little humble. I mean, the numbers.
You know what happens is, and nobody will tell you that. Everybody will tell you the horsepowers and the.
Right.
But what happens is a wide open throttle. The influence of the throttle body at low throttle is tremendous. It's huge. At low throttle, the throttle body rules the airflow completely, 100%. So if I tell you you have 30% better airflow at low throttle, you keep that 30%. When you are at wide open throttle, if I tell you have 10% more airflow, it's not that the car is going to have 10% more airflow. It's just the throttle body by itself. But the throttle body by itself, a wide open throttle, doesn't have the influence that it has a low open throttle. It's basically more pressure maybe dropping at the filter. It's just a smaller area. It's the one that chokes the system.
Right.
It could be at the heads. It could be at the runners, the valve. It loses its I don't want to say leadership, but its
Intended
influence.
purpose. Yeah. Intended purpose. Yeah.
The influence. If
Right.
this 100 CFM advantage that one might have here, it doesn't mean that you're gonna get 100 CFM more in the
Right.
car.
Right.
So yeah.
So what throttle position percentage are you referring to when you say low end? Is it 50,
I
60?
think okay. I think there is a transition at some point. I would say anything under 50,
Okay.
the throttle body rules the airflow. And that's what you feel when you're using the throttle body. Now, from 60 to 70, 80, there is a transition to where other components start to take to be more restrictive maybe than the throttle body or equally at the same level, and they share at 100% throttle. The throttle body is not the dominant for sure. 90, 100% is not the dominant factor anymore.
Right.
But unless they are undersized, let's say if you keep increasing airflow by, or I mean, let's say you put a supercharger, the throttle body and everything else gets, you have to increase it.
Correct.
And then you have to increase it so much, like you have to do the big jumps from 87 to 95 or to 103 and so on.
Okay.
And that's, yeah.
That's interesting. So one more thing, and I just want to make sure I'm looking at the right. So can you pull up your test numbers again and what we saw on the numbers that we reported on the video?
Okay.
Okay.
So this is our test here.
So according to Tony, right?
Uh-huh.
Because I just want to point this out, I think, to the audience. So you have the same numbers, right? 8, 16, 37, 125, 249, 378, so on and so forth, right? For
You're
his
looking
test.
at
For his test.
at what percent?
I'm just going down the line of Tony's test on his own throttle body, right?
Okay, 8, 16, 37, yes.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Okay. Now, do you have the results of when I was there and we put the V3?
Is this yellow here? So this is when he did it.
Yep.
This is when we did it.
Okay. So
8, 9, 16, 19, 37, 49, 125, 155.
So, and what I'm getting to here is I wanted to point this out because it just goes to show the validity of the test you ran, the transparency, your numbers of your test of the test we did down in Daphne are actually show his throttle body to be better performing. I mean, so a little bit could be the variance in the calibration, but
no, it's the position, because when he's saying 40, you see how his numbers are low.
right.
He's not actually at 40. I think he's way under 40. That's why his numbers are lower.
Okay.
But the difference, though, is what matters here. The difference is what
Right.
matters. But his numbers are shifted. Again, they don't know where they are from
Right.
from 10 to 90. They don't know where they are, except at 30. 30 is another place where we can compare pretty good. We can compare pretty good at 30 and 100. But anywhere else, these numbers are shifted. We don't know where they are. They don't know where they are. Only, unless we get a screwdriver with the same diameter and the same head and put it in
Yeah.
the same place, we would know.
Right. It's just it's all very interesting, and you can't really, it's undisputable. I mean, you can't dispute the numbers and the fact that they weren't done up to a certain point, and then I had to take a calculator and figure out what the rest was. So it just goes to show. And again, I think this video and the fact that I put everything on film shows the transparency of Solar Performance, shows that we believe we stand behind our product. Come see for yourself, and which I did. And, as a consumer, you do feel a little disappointed that I wish I would have known this more about this before I made my decision. I think that you're being very humble about the numbers, and you're not saying their product is not any good and yours is great. You're just saying, before you make a decision, you might want to check the real numbers on a flow bench that tests all the way across the board with the same pressure, and the test was completely equal, and these are the accurate numbers of what we got. And I just think, hopefully a lot of people watch this video and understand that, how accurate these numbers are, and that what we believe or perception isn't reality. And so I witnessed myself reality, because I was standing right there. And I think people are going to appreciate that about Solar Performance. I think, they already believe. I know the throttle body controller, which is, I think, the best product there is. And, the fact that you're standing behind these numbers, transparency, here's how it was done. We have nothing to hide. The numbers reported weren't accurate, and here it is. And I think this is going to go a long way into either helping someone with a purchase decision, or also confirming their purchase decision of going with the 91s. So, I mean, it was just an unbelievable experience. And I don't know if you want to get in. I know you have some new things on the way, and maybe that can be another video. But and at that point, I will transition back over to this. And we talked about, kind of running both and seeing both. So I don't know if you want to give a little blurb about what's on its way.
Well, yeah, it's not it happens with the C7 as well. The natural progression of this is, you start with the 87s, trying to increase the flow area a little bit, then a 90 something and 100 something, and those are coming 92, 95, 103. Then at some point they will unlock the tuning. Some people will get to those, they will supercharge it and so on. So yeah, coming soon a 92. We already have a 95 waiting for somebody willing to try it. And there is also a 103 if somebody wants it, but I don't think anybody needs it now or wants it. So, but yeah, it's the natural progression of things that normally. Yeah.
Well,
So
I'll be
that's coming
excited
soon.
I'll be excited to hopefully come down and watch some more of those tests with the new products, and hang out with you guys again, because it was an amazing experience. And again, I really appreciate you guys opening up your company to me and what I got to see. And it amazed me what I saw, and just everything you guys have. And I didn't know what to expect. And I know you and I had talked and developed a friendship. And, again, I know there was a lot of people there that were like, okay, why is this guy coming? But I think once I was there and they saw, like, I'm just a, fan, and I love the Z06, and I just want to find the best performing parts I can find. And, the fact that you opened your doors and I got to come in and watch, I just really wanted to thank you for the experience. It was amazing. I learned so much. And you got the people that you have working there are amazing. Everyone was extremely nice and helpful. And I just, again, really appreciate, and again, the transparency of these numbers and what we found. I mean, it's just next level, and I'm happy we did this. I'm happy we got to this point, because without these videos or without these conversations, people would have just kept maybe going in a different direction. And I think this will kind of right the ship, if you will. So.
Yes. Yeah, it's being long overdue. We wanted to do this for so long, but if we say it,
Yes.
it will be repeating what is already on our website. So we needed that third person who came here on his own book and did that for people. Is a third person. Thank you for being that third person and reaching out to us, because this is something we wanted to do, but we didn't have that neutral someone who was willing to witness, and so great opportunity.
Yes. So yeah, I'm excited for a couple things. I'm excited to get this video out, and I'm also excited to hear a response. So we, I guess we'll just wait and see.
I do
And
hope that there is an explanation for this and that we can witness a test with the right flow bench using uh, calibration plates. It doesn't have to be that, but some way of calibrating it, and and like I said, that's not a bad product at all if you have it. I just wish they come forward, explain all this, and they do things right. And in the end, what you'll see is something pretty close to this. And if not, then I know my next step will be just to check out the calibration plates and fight with
right,
that guy. Hey, what did you do wrong with these plates? I'm trusting them. But
right.
I'm just saying I'm sure, let's see. I hope Mamo Motorsports will answer, and yeah, they have a good pro. I don't think they should be afraid of anything. Like if we win or they win, or I don't know. I just don't see any. Let's see.
But for me, ultimately, I want the customer to win because I want them to have the best, most accurate information when making a purchase decision. And that's really what this is all about. This isn't about you versus Tony. That's not what this is about at
I
all.
think the customer has won already. First, they know more about the product. They know more about
Right.
the test. They know what to look for. They will know what to ask for. They will know. Main thing: do not ever take the face value of anything. Just question everything. And that in that regard, yes. And they, I know we are competing and we're competing hard, and they win that
Right.
way too. You
Right.
know.
Well,
So
again, at the end of the day, the customer wins,
they will. That they
and
already
that's,
have.
yes. And
I
that's
think
the
so.
important thing. And, again, you coming on here, me interviewing Tony, even getting with Brandon on all of this, at the end of the day, we are all going to come to some sort of conclusion, and the customer is going to make a decision of which way they want to go. But now they have accurate information to make that decision. And that's ultimately what I set out to do, why I came down, because I want to get the most accurate information. And that's all we're trying to do, because at the end of the day, we want the best performance for these cars. They're amazing cars, and we want the best performance. You're a Corvette guy, your brother's a Corvette guy, we're a Corvette. We all love this car, and we just want it to perform to the highest potential. And this is a part of that, is throttle body. So again, I really appreciate it. I always love having a conversation with you. I always learn so much every time we talk. And hopefully when the new ones come out, I'll be standing in front of that flow bench for several hours watching it and seeing what we got and seeing what it looks like against the 91s and the 87s and the V3s. So,
Will do.
okay. Appreciate it, Mike. I'll talk to you soon.